once again, you sexy audience. I'm Matt of Carsick Film Studios.
And I'm Matt Gorman from Tundra Portal.
And welcome to another episode of Movie Madness. Hope everybody had a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Hope you all filled your bellies with yummy, yummy food. It looks like Christmas came early for us movie fans this week. We have a lot to talk about. Including the two trailers that I'm really pumped about. So let's get right down to the big trailer. First category, movie news. This is the news for the week. The Star Wars Episode 7. Matt's got a big grin on his face. Star Wars Episode 7. First official trailer was released yesterday. So excited.
I'm very excited. I mean, when I first saw this trailer, the first shot, I smiled and I said, this is a Star Wars movie. This is something special. This is going to be a great movie. What do you think of the trailer, Matt? I'll let you start it out.
Oh my gosh. Well, first off, after I watched it, I had to change my pants because I geeked all over the place. I was just like, I started making girly noises. Like, I felt like an excited Japanese schoolgirl. Like, it looks like a Star Wars movie. Like, just the way it looks. It's beautiful. It looks like a Star Wars movie. That's great. But it also has that kind of, like, new generation type of effects to it. But it doesn't overwhelm it. And granted, we haven't seen, like, really any of the main characters. We've just seen, like, really teaser clips.
Yeah, we saw, like, snippets of the new cast, pretty much.
Yeah. And, there's like a quick shot of like the look of the new stormtroopers, and it looks good. It's like it feels like Star Wars, but it's got a new generation edge to it, which I really, really enjoyed. And that last shot, if you've seen the trailer, that last shot of like the camera following the Millennium Falcon and the camera's upside down. Oh my god, I was like, oh my god, it's finally here. And now we have to wait another year for it.
Yeah, that's the worst.
But, one of the things I was really glad to see was, like, I guess you could call him a Sith with the red lightsaber. I don't know if he is a Sith or what's going on with that, but he has a red lightsaber, so you know he's like a villain. So I'm glad to see that it is going to be, a clash between the Sith and the Jedi. Because it wouldn't be a Star Wars if you didn't have Sith. But I could go on and on about how much I love this trailer. I've watched it maybe 100 times already. And it was just released, like a day or two ago?
Oh, let me ask you a question, Matt. Did you jump in the beginning when you first saw the shot of John Boyega, like, popping his head out and, like, that loud noise?
Yeah, I didn't jump, like, 50 feet. It startled me. I'm like, oh my gosh, who are you?
Yeah, just, like, it kind of takes it, like, oh,
But I think what really, really took me by surprise... I don't know who that actor is. A lot of the new cast is very unknown to me. Like, I went on IMDb and looked at some of their previous work, and I recognized some titles, but I never saw them.
Yeah, like, I know, like, the whole point was to get J.J. Abrams to get, like, a whole new cast, so, a new generation of actors. Like, I know John Boyega, he's in the film Attack of the Block. I mean, I've never seen that film, but I thought it was a good idea that he got all these unknown actors. So when people see them, they can say, oh, these are the Star Wars characters.
Yeah, I mean, like, of course we're going to have, like, our original, like, Peter Mayhew, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford. We're going to have, our, ready-to-go team. And then we've got the new people. I know Andy Serkis is in the Star Wars. I don't know. Nobody knows what he's doing. If he's...
Actually, I just read online, he actually did the voice of the trailer, like that dark noise, that was his voice.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounded so much... I thought it was like Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, that's what everyone thought.
That is so funny, because I swear, I'm like, oh my god, it's Benedict is in this? I love that man. Oh, alright, that's interesting. But yeah, like, he might be playing a bad guy or something, because he sounds like a bad guy. But, like, at first nobody knew, was he playing a live-action character? Was he doing a CGI character? Oh, sorry about that. I got a call.
Oh, that's okay.
What was I saying? Oh, yeah, like, is he playing a live action character? Is he playing a computer animated character?
From what I've read, I think he's doing an animated character. Like he's gonna do CGI, kind of like what he did with Gollum.
I really hope it's not Jar Jar.
No. I think J.J. Abrams is smarter than that.
It would be so funny if, like... No, it wouldn't be funny. I said this would turn everybody off. If another trailer, you know, it was like... I can see it now, just like, you know, kind of like a dark figure in the woods. And, you know, it slowly zooms in, and something like Sinister's like, "You've dreaded the return. But get ready for the comeback." And then he whips around and it's Jar Jar. He goes, "Misa back!" Ah, no. I don't want to see Jar Jar. But yeah, just like...
Online, I think one of the comments, like probably the most negative thing I've seen about the trailer is that lightsaber. Some people didn't like it, but personally, I thought it was great. You know, when he first whips out that lightsaber and you see the two little things come out of the side.
Yeah.
When I first saw that, I said, "Wow, that's cool."
Like I always like seeing how they do something different with the lightsabers. Like when it was just episode 4, 5, and 6, all we knew was like the single blade, and then episode 1 came out, and then we've got Darth Maul with his dual blade, and then episode 2 came out, and we had Count Dooku with his little bent hilt. And then we got General Grievous, who like has 4 lightsabers going at the same time. And then we've got like with Star Wars Rebels right now, we've got the Inquisitor, who's got like that round part, and then it turns into a dual bladed and it spins. That's pretty cool. I know in the expanded universe they had lightsaber whips. I don't know if that's ever going to come into play in the new trilogy, but like yeah, I love how they come up with all these different new hilts and styles for lightsabers.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be great. I think one of the funny things I saw in the trailer was that droid that looked like it was on a soccer ball.
Yeah, I thought that to me, I like that little droid because I don't know what it was about him, but he seemed to fit that environment. Now, I'm going to just go and assume, because a lot of that environment is sand, that I'm just going to go ahead and assume that's Tatooine.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
And, you know, because there, especially that shot where he's on the looking on the ball, you can see what looks to me like an engine or like a pod racer engine in the background.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume like it's Tatooine, and it's very like kind of maybe a junkyard or a type of marketplace, and he seemed to fit, and I like the look of him being on that ball. Unless that's attached to him, I don't know, but like I don't know. I feel like I'm really pumped. I could go on about Star Wars. I think one of the coolest shots was the X-Wings over the water.
That was my favorite shot of the trailer. That was the best.
Oh my god. If you guys haven't seen this Star Wars trailer, by all means, go look at it. Because I did the math out. The last Star Wars movie that came out was Star Wars Episode 3. That was back in 2005.
That's 10 years. 10 years.
When this Star Wars comes out, it will have been 10 years since we've had a Star Wars movie. We have been waiting patiently for this. And I don't know how much longer we can wait. Like, they got to keep, like, throwing out, maybe not, like, every month, but at some point next year, they're going to have to give us at least 2 more trailers to keep us occupied. I have to move on because I don't want to waste all the time on Star Wars. Even though we could. We could do the whole show just about the trailer. All right. Are you good?
I'm good.
You have it out of your system now?
I do.
All right. Topic number 2, or item 2, random movie topic. Matt, what was the random movie topic, or random topic you chose this week?
I was going to say that we could talk about the movie theaters that we've been to, because we talked about Millbury last week, but I thought we could talk about, like, movie theaters just, like, in general, like, how many we've been to, like, what the experiences you've had, and, you know, the good and the bad.
Okay.
And
Quick side note before we get on to that. I remember the last time we talked about the X Plus Lounge, the new X Plus Lounge at my theater, and I had just recently discovered, talking to managers, that it's actually not finished. Like I said, oh, it's got no like functionality. It's actually gonna have like tables and chairs and stuff. It's not finished. I thought it was finished. So that actually changes my mind about it. Once we get all that stuff in there, it actually will look pretty cool.
So it's gonna be kind of like a dine-in theater.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's gonna kind of be like the lounge we have over by 8, mixed with the Chatters Bar and Grill, like with the chairs and stuff. So
Interesting.
yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, let's move on to item 2, which is different movie theaters. I'll let you kick this off.
Sure.
Just keep talking. I'm gonna grab a soda real quick.
Sure.
I'm still listening.
That's fine. The theater I go to the most is the Millbury, the Showcase Blackstone Valley 14 Cinema Deluxe in Millbury, Massachusetts. But I think the one I probably go to the second most is probably the Cinema World in the Lincoln Mall. Now, that one is only about 20 minutes away. Have you been to that theater before, Matt?
Which one?
Cinema World in the Lincoln Mall.
I have not.
It's in Lincoln, Rhode Island, and from Douglas, it's only about 20 minutes away.
That's not too bad, because from Douglas to Millbury, it's about 15.
Yeah. So, I'll say, it's not as big as Millbury. Like, obviously, it's not a Cinema Deluxe. It's not a luxury or anything. I mean, the screens are a lot smaller, but it has 2 more screens. It has 16 screens. And one big thing that I think is really cool, for me, this is nitpicking, but it has reclinable cup holders.
Oh.
I don't know why, but I think that's really cool when you go in the seats and everything.
Huh.
But yeah, it's a theater inside of a mall. It's a really small one, but it's nice. And on Tuesdays, it's $6 for a movie ticket all day, so that's a good price. And then anytime before noon, you go to see a movie, it's $6.50.
Wow.
So it's good for price. So, and usually the one I go to like once in a while when I see a movie in IMAX, is it's still a Showcase. Like I go to the one in Providence Place Mall Theater, the IMAX, and IMAX is great. So I love seeing movies in IMAX. Like when I saw Interstellar, you see the aspect ratio shifting with the tall screen and everything, and it's just a great experience, especially when you get that perspective of different movie theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, or what are your experiences?
Well, obviously, because I work there, I go to Millbury a lot. So it's kind of like, I like it. It's, especially the X Plus. I love the X Plus. I love seeing people and be like, oh, hey, no, I'm not working. I'm going to see a movie. It's, at this point, it's not really a cinematic adventure. It's just, I'm going to my place of work to go take in a movie. So it definitely becomes that I wish somebody would have told me when I went to go work there that your view of it changes. Because when I went to go to the movies, yes, it was a cinematic adventure. You got in, you picked your movie, you got your tickets, you went to go get them ripped, you went to go get your snacks. Then you went to the theater, you had to find it because there's 14 freaking theaters, so you had to figure out which one it was, and then when you found it, you had to find your seats, and then you're waiting, and the trailers popped up. And when I was a kid, the trailers, I think, well, everybody loves the trailers, but when I was a kid, that was the only way to see the new trailers of, like, upcoming movies. We didn't have IMDb or YouTube where we could just, like, look up a trailer. And then, your movie started, you were all excited, and by the time your movie started, your popcorn's gone for some reason, you don't know what happened. And it was a cinematic adventure. Nowadays, especially because I work there, I have to call, be like, hey, can I go see this movie? Yes or no, and if yes, I go there, get my ticket, whatever. Because you work there, it, loses its effect. With that said, I've also been to Cinema North in Worcester, which has more kind of like a retro type of look to it. It's got like neon lights and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a, like an old school type of movie theater, which is nice. I like the look of it. It's got, I think 18, 20 theaters. So it's a little bit bigger. And they also have a pretty good arcade. So it's a nice adventure. But I still have to go through the same thing because it's Showcase. If I want to go see a movie there, I still have to call. I have to drive there. So I think the best experience is going to IMAX. I've gone to the IMAX theater at Jordan's Furniture in Natick, I think it is. And I've been there twice. The first time my grandparents took me to go see like a documentary about NASCAR or race car drives. Race car races. And it was really fun. And it really had that 3D aspect, especially before the thing. It had like a little short cartoon about a guy on a ladder, and the ladder was like in your face, and it was great. But then I went to go see Captain America the Winter Soldier in IMAX. And because me and my buddy got there late, I think I mentioned this last episode, we had horrible seats, and it was just not a fun experience because my eyes started to hurt. So, like, it all depends on... Pretty much it all depends on all the circumstances that coincide with your movie-going experience. Like, if you get a bad seat, the movie could, your whole experience could suck. If you get a good seat, it could be, like, the best experience ever. So it all for me, it all depends on the situation and what's going on.
Oh, what do you think about people texting when you're trying to watch the movie and you see a big bright light?
Oh my God. Oh.
I saw, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes? I saw that with my friend Tim Schroeder, and during the middle of the movie, I just see a bright screen, and this guy's on his cell phone, and then for the rest of the movie, he's on his cell phone the entire time. I mean, I saw him, he was with his kid and everything. I mean, I understand going with a kid, you don't want to watch the movie, but, you can be respectful of other people. It's
so funny, because I was at work yesterday, and a woman was just... No theaters were getting out yet. I was walking around, keeping the lobby clean, and a woman comes up. She's like, "Can I speak to a manager?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, what's wrong?" She's like, "There's this guy in there. He's got his phone on. It's really distracting. I pay money." You know how customers are. And I was with my coworker, Tim. I'm like, "Okay, Tim, go get a manager. I'll go check this out." So I go into Theater 4, and lo and behold, there's a guy in the front, not just the front row of, like, the stadium part, but in the front, the very front, where everybody and their dog can see him, and he's texting on his phone. And she pointed him out. I'm like, "Yeah, you gotta be kidding me." So I went over to him, and I did what my job description entails. I went over and I politely asked him to power down his phone. If I have to tell him a second time, I said, "Sir, this is your final warning. Please power down your phone, or I will get a manager involved." Luckily, it didn't come to that. And then the third time, the manager, kicks him out. 3 strikes, you're out. But I went up to him, I said, "Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to power down your phone during the movie." And he just kind of like gave me this annoyed reaction. He was like, and it was a flip phone. So he like hit the end button a couple times and closed it. And I said, "Thank you," and I walked away. But that's not the worst one. A while back I was working, and the movie hadn't really ended yet. I was standing in there, I was waiting to clean it. The movie hadn't ended, and I looked down, again, in the front row. I see a guy, not texting, but actually talking on his phone. I was in disbelief. I'm like, do people really do this? We tell them half a dozen times before the movie even starts. Turn off your phone. Turn off your beepers if you still use one because you're a dinosaur from the Stone Age. Just, like, don't use it. And he was talking on his phone. And so I, again, did my job. I'm like, "Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to end your conversation, and turn your phone off." And I didn't know if he understood me, but he kind of had an accent. I'm not sure. I'm not trying to be racist. But he's like, "Oh, okay." And so I go to walk back, and then I turn around again, and he's still on the phone. So I figured, okay, maybe he's saying goodbye. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And I stood there for a good minute. He's still on his phone. So I went back. I'm like, "Sir, you're either going to have to end the call or take it outside because the movie's not done yet and people are getting bothered. He's like, oh, okay. And then he just shuts it off. He didn't even say goodbye to the person. I'm like, whatever. The phone's off. I was in awe. I didn't know people really did that. I tell you, man, like, it bugs the crap out of me.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin the experience for everyone, when you do that.
Exactly.
I mean, imagine, imagine if we're watching episode 7 of Star Wars, like, for the first time in theaters and someone does that.
He would be dead. People would, I swear, here's the scenario. It's Star Wars Episode 7, opening night. The theater is packed. The movie started, everybody's glued to the screen. Their eyes are glued to the screen, they're watching it intently. All of a sudden there's a light that pops up in your vision, you feel the vision.
Everyone simultaneously looks at that light.
And everybody simultaneously gets angry and attacks that person. That is the scenario. That is what I would believe would happen at the premiere of Star Wars Episode 7.
Well, I guess I'll end this topic at a positive note. Going back to trailers and stuff that you're talking about, I think it's interesting now that we see trailers on YouTube. Like, we see the Star Wars 7 trailer. Obviously, we get really excited. But I think when we go see the Episode 7 trailer in theaters, like, the second we see the sand, we'll know what trailer it is, and we'll just get excited immediately. Like, we'll see those dudes in the Tatooine, and immediately we'll say Star Wars and just, yeah.
I gotta change my pants again! But you actually bring up an interesting point. I really think it is way better to watch a trailer on the big screen at a theater than on your computer or your phone or your tablet, because, I know I had to watch it on my phone, and I want to see like everything, so like I have my phone almost pressed against my face. And the same thing with like a computer or a tablet. You have to, but if you're in the theater and you're on this huge screen, you can like bask in the immense glory of your favorite trailer.
I will say, I know they're going to bring the Star Wars trailer to theaters around December. I know it was 30 theaters for the Thanksgiving trailer premiere, but if you want to see it, hopefully, I'm sure Millbury will get it by the time The Hobbit comes out, so we'll definitely see it, especially in X Plus. That would be great seeing the trailer in X Plus.
I almost had to go change my pants. All right, that joke's getting old. All right, shall we move on?
We shall.
All right. New topic, trailer breakdown. Earlier this week, we were blessed with an early Christmas present. Besides the Star Wars trailer, the first Jurassic World official trailer came out, and let's break it down. Let's talk about what we saw. If you want to kick it off, Matt.
Yes, we saw the generic, title has been proved for all audiences, and then it cuts right to a mother and father sending their kid off to, it looks like probably an airport, and talking to her kid, saying, "Oh, thank you for going on this trip, and if you see something big, run." Yeah,
it's obviously like a little joke, like ha ha ha.
Yeah. Actually, the interesting thing about this is it was supposed to come out on Thanksgiving, but the trailer was released 2 days early.
This is what I heard about the reason why it was released 2 days early is I guess somebody got a hold of it, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna leak it," and Universal decided to beat them to the punch and release it 2 days early.
Oh, really? I thought it was because of Star Wars.
That too, because I guess also this is just rumor. I don't know if this was true. I don't even know if it happened, but I guess Star Wars there was supposed to be a trailer. All right, I know that this past Friday through Sunday, select AMC theaters around the country are playing 88-second Star Wars trailer. Excuse me. Before every single one of their movie showings. And there was rumor that on Thanksgiving during the football game they were going to release a different, shorter Star Wars trailer. So there's speculation that Universal saw that and be like, look, if we release it the same day, we're not going to get any views. People will be like, Jurassic what? No, Star Wars. So they decided to release it early for Star Wars. Which, whatever the case may be, I think it was a better decision they released Jurassic World early. because they had their few days to get all their people pumped up, like Jurassic World, yay! And then Star Wars came out, and I'm excited for both.
Yeah, I'm excited for both as well.
What I really like about the Jurassic World trailer is I love the story. I love what they're doing with it. I love how InGen is gone. It was bought out by this other company, and they made a park, and it's running. It's open. There's people there. You know, they've got all these rides and these dinosaurs, and everything is going swimmingly. It's actually very parallel to the PlayStation 2 game, Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, where you build the park, you populate it with dinosaurs, you open the park, there's people, and it's a great time. That's what I love, because that's one of my favorite games. I'm actually doing a Let's Play series about that game right now. So that's what I like about it. And then they say, oh, we made a new hybrid dinosaur. What? The D-Rex. And we didn't, of course they didn't show us the D-Rex but maybe it's for the best. But like you just see like the panic, the destruction, and everything starts to fall apart. My favorite shot of the entire trailer. Chris Pratt on a motorcycle riding with raptors at his side.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I know somebody said, this might be a rumor, somebody said that like the raptors were trained not to attack him, like they're his maybe they're like part of security, or they're I don't know, like they're like his posse, I guess you could say. I don't know. But like if you look at Chris Pratt on the motorcycle and you look at the raptors, neither one gives a crap about each other. They're just going.
Yeah, I really like when they're showing two kids on this cool little orb. It looks like some kind of orb ride or something.
Yeah, like the gyrosphere, I think it said it was.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That was cool, and what I really like is that we're gonna see water dinosaurs this time. I don't know if they're gonna play a huge part, but there's definitely gonna be water dinosaurs, because that you saw that clip of like the great white shark, our most fearsome predator in the world today, dangling from the thing, and I think it was like a mosasaur that jumped out of the water, but this big aquatic dinosaur just like jumped up and chopped him. And if you look at the shot, that great white just looks like an appetizer to that huge fish.
I know, that was crazy. That was a huge monster, especially like I said, if we see it in the trailer, you know, this sound is just gonna, you know, of that thing coming out of the water and clamping onto the shark, make people jump that haven't seen the trailer yet.
Did you say you haven't seen the trailer yet?
No, I have seen the trailer, but I mean when people see it in theaters.
Oh, I was gonna say. What's wrong with you? But the one concern I have about Jurassic, like, I had many concerns before the trailer, like, because I think I may have mentioned this last episode. I'm not sure, but I was very concerned because a bunch of like production news kept getting leaked, like, oh, we're gonna make human dinosaur hybrids, and we're like, that's a terrible idea. And now that we finally know what it is about, it's about another park and it's going well. I love that idea. I'm on board 100%. The one little bit of concern I have is about the new dinosaur, the D-Rex. One, I would have loved to see the return of Spinosaurus, because he's my favorite dinosaur. Two, it is said that the D-Rex has the ability to kind of like change his color like a chameleon almost. I don't know if he can change it to his environment, but he has like these two different colors. I know they're releasing a Lego line of products about Jurassic World, and there's like a D-Rex that's one color, and then he's like a whiter type of color. My biggest concern is that it's gonna look stupid. If it doesn't look stupid, great. But like, I don't know, it's just a little concern I have. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I guess only time will tell. Especially if we see a new trailer. We'll see like frames. They'll probably show in the next couple months, like either during The Hobbit or sometime when another movie comes out in 2015, we might either see shots of the new dinosaurs, or we'll see, at least just like a frame. And then I'm sure, people will overanalyze it on the internet and say this, that, and the other thing. So I don't know. I think it all depends, until we see the actual movie.
Yeah.
So it depends.
I really don't think they're gonna show. This is just my prediction. Steven Spielberg, this is what he likes to do. He likes to hide the main monster until maybe like halfway through the movie. And you won't see him in the trailer. He did the same thing with Jaws. You didn't see the actual shark until like halfway through the movie, if not more. Same with Jurassic Park. You didn't see an actual dinosaur until halfway through the movie.
Right.
So Steven Spielberg loves to do that to you. I don't know if he's going to do it this time, but judging by the trailer, I think that's what he's going to do. He's not going to show us the D-Rex right away. He'll show us everything else. He has no problem, because we've already seen it. Like the Gallimimus or the Brachiosaur, we've already seen it. So he's going to show it to us right off the bat. But I really imagine that halfway through the movie is, or more so, is when we're going to see the D-Rex.
Yeah. Well, that'll give you time to develop the characters, introduce new characters, especially like Chris Pratt. I'm sure Chris Pratt and the new scientist girl is going to have a really big part in the new movie, so they'll have to introduce.
The only returning cast member from the original 3 Jurassic Parks is B.D. Wong, who plays Henry Wu.
Yeah, the scientist.
Yeah. I am really interested to see how his character plays out. Like, how he's introduced, if he's gonna, make comments about, like, the past movies, or, how he got there.
I will say he has a bigger role in the book. I've read the book, and he has a really big role.
It's funny, because I'm actually, I've read most of the book, but I rented it from the library, and then I had to give it back, so I didn't finish it. But my girlfriend just bought me the book as an early birthday present. Christmas present. So, like, I've read the book, and the book, Jurassic Park from the movie is vastly different.
Yeah, well, I don't know what part you're at, but I think the second chapter is the beginning of the second movie. I don't know how far you've gotten into the book.
Are we talking about Jurassic Park or the Lost World Jurassic Park?
The Lost World Jurassic Park. The second chapter in the book is the beginning of the Lost World movie. I don't know if you noticed.
Yes, you're right. With the little girl.
Yes.
Yes. I knew that before I read the book. Somebody told me that. But yeah, like, I love the book. I didn't think I was going to like the book, but I was hooked from the first chapter. And I love the movie, and I can appreciate both. But the book is vastly different, and you get more into it than you can in a movie. And I understand why, because you only got like 2 hours to make a movie out of a book, whereas this book has so many details that you can't possibly fit into the movie.
Right, because the book is...
It's a good read.
Yeah, the book is Michael Crichton's vision, and the movie is Steven Spielberg's vision,
right.
So it's the difference.
We didn't really break down much of Jurassic World, but yeah, like, I'm excited for it. Like, I'm super pumped.
On YouTube, I'll definitely show some frames from the trailer, and I'll just do frame by frame.
Yeah.
Pictures, especially the OR, but even the music, like when they're first like in the park and everything, that was really good. When it says Jurassic World and the doors open.
Yeah.
That got me.
A lot of people, like, I've heard a few people like say that the second part of the music, the little piano, they're like, I didn't expect that. That sounds so corny. I was expecting like some with drums or something epic. But if you listen carefully, it's like the Jurassic Park theme. It's like it goes bum 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 bum. But it's so like spread out that you can't tell. If you listen carefully, it's the Jurassic Park theme.
Yeah, it is.
All right, moving on. Oh boy. We've come to the segment Viewed and Reviewed. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten to see Mockingjay yet.
I have.
I know you have. I'm actually going to see it later tonight. So, Matt, this is all you. Give us your review of The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1.
Okay, I'll say as much as I can without spoiling anything, but I will say it's very good. I mean, it's very different from the first two, because the first two you had the Hunger Games, you had the actual, when they go into the arena and they fight each other in this dystopian future, but in this movie, if you see in the last movie that she's recovered and the whole time she was part of the rebellion, and Philip Seymour Hoffman was the game maker, but he was part of the rebellion too, and he helps Katniss escape from the second arena. So it's all about the aftermath, and it's more like a war movie between the Capitol and the rebellion. So I guess it has kind of a Star Wars theme to it, where it's like rebels versus the Alliance. But the Capitol, President Snow, in that way. But I think it was done very well.
It's funny because I was with my grandparents today, and my grandfather actually asked me, what's the new Hunger Games about? And if I know my grandpa, I doubt he's seen any of the Hunger Games. But I'm like, I tried to explain it to him. Like, the first Hunger Games, it was about the games. The second Hunger Games, the Capitol is PO'd that Katniss has, has her, she got her way. Her and Peeta both survived. They're both victors. Now she's a symbol of hope for the districts. And this angers the Capitol because if they, start thinking for themselves, they're going to lose the districts. They're going to lose the grip on them. And so the second movie's about the games again, and it's pretty much just like sabotaged. Like they pick, past victors, and it's pretty much to get either Katniss or Peeta to die. And then this movie is about, and I made that same exact analogy. It's pretty much like a Star Wars, where you have the Capitol, which is the Empire, and then you have the districts, which is the rebels, and it's pretty much the rebels trying to take over the Empire and bring it down.
Yeah, I'll definitely agree with that. It's, well, like I said, it has a, the best way to describe it is kind of that Star Wars feel between, the rebels and,
I'm actually very excited to see Mockingjay. I don't know why, because, I like the games. Like, you think of Hunger Games, you think of the games, but now it's about the rebellion. But I'm really excited to see where the story goes. Like, I know a little bit about it, because my ex-girlfriend read the books, and she told me a little bit about what happens. And, I'm really excited to see how they incorporate it all in and, how the characters develop.
But yeah, it's good. I think you'll definitely like it.
All right. We all set with that?
Yeah.
All right. We want to try something new this week. We came up with the idea for this new item. We call it Topic Attack. And this is how it works. Each week, Matt and I will both pick a topic. Just a random topic to ask the other. Okay? But we don't tell the other one what the other one's topic is. So, as soon as I find my watch, give me a second. Gosh. I should have been more prepared. All right. In a minute or less, we have to quickly give our views on this topic. So I'm going to find something. All right. I don't have a quarter or anything on me, so I can't flip. All right. Matt, you go first. After you're done reading or asking me your topic, I'll start the clock.
Okay. Well, I got kind of a two-topic thing. I'll ask the first one. If there's a no answer, I'll ask the second one. But the question is, do you collect movie stubs, and do you think movie stubs should be collected as memorabilia for every time you see a movie? And if you don't collect movie stubs, do you have butter on popcorn, or you don't have butter on popcorn, and why or why not?
So which one do you want me to do?
Well, if you collect movie stubs, then I guess you can elaborate on that one. But if not, then I guess you can just talk about butter or no butter.
All right, I'll try to do both in a minute. All right.
Okay, go for it.
3, 2, 1. Okay, yes, I do collect my movie stubs, and it is part of a memorabilia, because what I want to do with them is I want to create like a little collage or something of all the movies I've been to, and if I've been with people, if I have extra stubs or something. But yeah, I think a stub is a good, type of memorabilia. It's, you buy your ticket and you get that stub. Even if you can't get anything else, like a poster or something, that's definitely something that you can hang on to and say, yeah, I saw this movie, this is my memorabilia. In terms of butter on popcorn, I always have to have butter on popcorn. I think movie theater butter is unlike any other butter you can get anywhere. You cannot duplicate, or at least I haven't seen anybody who can duplicate movie theater butter. It's just like, when you think of popcorn, movie theater popcorn, you think of how it tastes and the butter. It's so unique, and it adds to the cinematic adventure experience when you go to the movies. And I did it. Stop it. Alright, I got it exactly a minute. Alright. I talked really fast. I didn't.
No, you did good. That was good. I like the response.
Alright, are you ready? I'm going to read. I'm going to attack you with a topic, and you have a minute to give me your views.
Okay,
Alright.
sure.
As far as we know, Robert Downey Jr.'s contract is coming up with Marvel. He's got this new Avengers, and he's got the new Captain America Civil War. What are your thoughts on them possibly, because I don't know if they're going to renew his contract, but what are your thoughts on possibly Marvel killing off Iron Man? Go.
I think it'll definitely, if they do kill off Iron Man, it'll definitely be a big shift in the Avengers franchise. Especially because we've had the Avengers, the first Avengers movie, and it was fantastic. We got them all together. We finally made a movie where they all fight together and they defeat Loki. Now, Iron Man 3 came after that, and he had PTSD. He was going through a lot of physical, mental problems. And so to kill off a character like Iron Man, I mean, he pretty much started the Avengers. He was the movie, or Tony Stark was in the movie, the first Iron Man movie that had the first after credit scene where Nick Fury comes out and says, "You're part of a bigger universe." So to have him killed off would make a very dark. I don't know how to word this. It would probably just make it a very very dark franchise, or at least just make it a very dark movie if they kill Iron Man. But it'll be interesting to see that, but I think it could go either way.
Time. Stop talking. That was pretty good. Yeah. I've heard things about them renewing. They're in discussions about renewing the contract, and one of my things is I don't think we're going to see the end of Iron Man, because Robert Downey Jr. is the godfather of the Avengers in a sense. He started it all. He was the first movie in Phase 1, and that this was before people even had any clue what Marvel was up to. And he is the one who kept us going. It's like Iron Man, and then we got the Incredible Hulk, and then Iron Man 2, and that's when we really start to realize, hey, they're doing something with this. And like Robert Downey Jr. is the seller for any type of Marvel movie. If you're gonna have Iron Man in it, he's the first name above title in Robert Downey Jr. And then Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, whatever. He's always the first. He is the big seller, and I think that Robert Downey Jr. is starting to realize that this. He's done other projects like Sherlock Holmes, but he's most recognized for this, and he's most appreciated for this, and his fan base for this is higher than anything else, I believe. And I think he's really starting to appreciate that, and he's even said on talk shows he's going to be doing more. He wants to do more. So I really don't think we're going to see the end of Iron Man anytime soon. With that said, one of my work buddies, Dan, says, oh, they're going to kill off Iron Man. They have to. And I keep saying, no. He says, when we thought he was dead in Avengers, that would have been the perfect time for him to actually die because it would have been emotional. Because, and I'll give him this, Marvel will tease us with the death of people. Like, it was Iron Man in the Avengers, we thought he died. And then Loki in Thor, we thought he died. And then Nick Fury in Captain America 2, we thought he died. But all of them came back. So if Marvel keeps doing that, when somebody actually really dies, it's not going to mean BS. Because they've already teased us so much with deaths. It's like nobody can't die. Or like nobody can die in this universe.
Even Captain America's friend, Bucky Barnes.
Yeah, Bucky. Yeah, Captain America 1. Well, people... I guess he kind of had to sort of think he was dead. Alright, let me get my thoughts together on this. Chris Evans, Captain America, thought he was dead. For a reason. Everybody knew he's not dead. He's going to come back as the Winter Soldier. So I don't think that really counts. Because it's part of the story plot. But, like, yeah. I don't think we're going to see Iron Man leave anytime soon. Because you've got the Infinity Gauntlet Part 1 and 2 coming up. So, I really think that Iron Man's got to be there for that. But, yeah, like, I don't think Iron Man's going to go anytime soon.
No. It's crazy how much Robert Downey Jr.'s made, like, money-wise.
Oh, yeah, like, he's loaded. Alright, I think that's it. Before we end the show, we would like to invite you guys to our mailbag / tweets. What we're going to be doing is I'm going to have Matt set up a Twitter for us. I don't know if you've already done it. I doubt it because I keep forgetting to ask you. But he's going to set up a Twitter for us where you can tweet us your questions, and whatever we get, we'll air on the show. We'll answer your questions and your comments. It's probably going to be something simple like at Movie Madness.
Yeah.
So I'll have Matt set that up. Send in your questions and your comments, and we'll air them on the show. And you have anything else you want to add?
No. Yeah, but like you said, just either message the Twitter account I'm going to set up, or just ask a question on Facebook, or
comments below, whatever.
Yeah, YouTube, any social media site, we'll definitely check it out.
I know that I'm uploading the version of last week's show that I did, which I've seen yours, and we had very similar pictures in there going on.
Yeah.
So you can check out either one of our podcasts either on Matt's channel, which is youtube.com/tundraportal, or you could come to my channel, youtube.com/ofcarsticfilmstudios, and we'll have both our podcasts up. You can comment on either of them, and whatever comments and questions we get, we'll incorporate into the next week's show. I think Saturdays is our best bet for shows.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're gonna try and make it like every Saturday, and if you guys have any, suggestions on what we should do, feel free to send those to us, and we'll definitely look into that. Again, this is only our second episode, so we're still exploring ideas. Like, I loved Topic Attack. I thought that went good. I like the trailer breakdowns. I like what we've going on, but we're definitely going to add more soon. Hope you guys are along for the ride. Give us all the love and support you can. We greatly appreciate it. And with that, I think, unless you have anything else to add.
I was going to say one thing. Right now I'm just working on getting this on iTunes. I have to go through a lot of steps and stuff, but eventually, hopefully, you can download it either as an MP3 or as a podcast. Yeah. And that's all I'm working on right now.
Yeah, that I know that was our first original idea, is that we're definitely going to have just plain audio podcasts from iTunes that you can subscribe to, you can download, you can listen to us on the go, whether you're in your car, or you're at a boring wedding and you have your earbuds in, or you're on the plane, or you're running away from a dinosaur, you can hear us talk about it. yeah, so we've got that, we've got this, and I've got a bunch of stuff coming up on my channel, a bunch of Let's Plays and stuff like that. I don't know, do you have anything else besides this coming up on your channel, Matt?
No, not yet. If anything changes, I'll definitely, let everyone know what's going on my channel. But as of right now, everything's pretty much, steady and yeah.
All right, well, with that, I think that's it for this episode of Movie Madness. We are so glad you guys made us a part of your day. I'm Matt of Karsick.
And I'm Matt Gorman.
And we will see you next time. Hey guys, Matt of Karsick from Of Karsick Films here, and welcome to this little Movie Madness Easter egg. It's just me, Matt's not here. I just want to do this little Easter egg. So I went to go see The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, and I got back a little while ago, and I wanted to do this little Easter egg at the end of this episode of Movie Madness because I hadn't seen it yet, and Matt did his review for Mockingjay, and since it's still fresh in my mind, I wanted to do a quick little review for you guys. So I went with some friends, and I went and saw Mockingjay, and I thought it was really good. Nothing really stood out for me. I think it's the transition from the actual games and that whole plot, the transition from that into this rebellion and this resolution, I guess you could call it. I just went brain dead with the word, but the transition is going very nicely, and it's very much about like the Capitol's secrets, like the secrets that they have that they're hiding from the districts, and it's all coming apart. Like we said earlier in the podcast, it's definitely a Star Wars type of plot where you have the rebels, a small band of rebels, like everybody, as small as their numbers are all gathered in District 13, and they're making little hits to the Capitol, to try and weaken them and frighten them, and to rally other districts to their cause, and they're doing it very, very well. But President Snow is sitting up in his mansion like a badass, just like, oh well, retaliate in this way. And I really enjoyed it. It wasn't as action-packed as I thought it was going to be. And I'm not saying it doesn't have action. It does. It has some pretty good action, but most of the action you see in the trailers. The rest of it is just, storytelling and, plot, laying out the plot. But it's a very good, a good time at the theater. I don't know why this is the one thing that stood out, is the speeches that Katniss gives throughout the movie, especially the first speech. I'm not gonna, spoil it for anybody who hasn't read the books or seen the movie or both. I haven't read the books, but, I know about the books, and an ex of mine read the books and pretty much told me the basic plot. I don't know everything, but I really like the speeches that Katniss gives, especially the first speech. That really stood out, and I really wanted to just get up and join the rebellion right there, because she, Jennifer Lawrence as an actress is incredible, and with a strong character like Katniss, she really knows how to rally people. So I think that was very well done. The very end of the movie, the big, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But the little confrontation that's there, I'm not going to say between who, but that really surprised me. I was shocked, and it just blew me away. And now I'm really excited for part 2. So all in all, I would give this movie a good 8 out of 10 stars. It has some areas where it's slow, but it always finds a way to pick itself back up. So I think it's a pretty solid movie. It's a great new addition to the Hunger Games saga. and I can't wait for the fourth and final edition. And so, yeah, that's my quick little view and review for you. And I'll see you guys next week.